Hi everyone, my name is Yosmeri Cabrera and this is my micro level presentation. I observed a Latino man named Carlos Rivera at a Latin social event held at a community center. This event was full of lively people dancing salsa and bachata while Carlos was sitting alone near the edge of the dance floor. The video presentation will summarize my observation of Carlos at the dance social. I will analyze his behavior using theories from our chapter readings. I will discuss a strength-based engagement strategy that could help Carlos join the social interaction and highlight assessments relevant to his behavior. Carlos' behavior. He was an observer watching the dancers with a neutral to anxious expression. Carlos' body language and cues. Carlos frequently checked his phone, shifted in his seat, and avoided eye contact with others. His body language suggested discomfort, social anxiety, or feeling out of place despite being present at a cultural, familiar event. Social environment dynamics. The event was socially welcoming, filled with music, laughter, and friendly interactions. While most attendees were engaged, Carlos seemed disengaged. His behavior showed how a person can feel isolated even in a socially rich environment. Biosocial lens, Carlos' case application. Biological, possible genetic or neurological factors contributing to social anxiety. Physiological, emotional state confidence, post-trauma or introversion. Social, lack of familiar peers at the event, discomfort in crowded spaces or feeling different even in this cultural group. Social cultural dimension. Carlos' cultural tension. While Latin cultures often celebrate dance, music, and social bonding, individual experience can differ. Carlos may be experiencing internalized stigma or masculinity norms that discourage vulnerability. Identity conflict if he straddles multiple cultural expectations, or past marginalization or rejections that affect participation. Analysis of behavior using theoretical concept. Using the person in environment theory, Carl's behavior may be influenced by his comfort level in the social environment. The psychosocial lens. Chapter 3 readings help me understand his anxiety or hesitation as possible related to physiological factors like social anxiety and social influences. In continuation, the social dimension, considering his Latino cultural background, which usually values dance and socializing, but maybe Carlos feels disconnected or shy in this setting. The social change dimension, comparing it to chapter 5, reminds us to think large factors such as cultural assimilation, challenges, or social expectations that may affect Carlos' behavior. Social change factors. Social pressures like assimilation, stereotype, threat, or internalized cultural expectation may impact Carlos's comfort level. I Ethics of observation. I observed ethically by maintaining a respectful distance and not interacting with Carlos. Also picked out a random name. Observing human behavior in public settings for academic purposes requires careful attention to consent. Strength-based engagement. The idea I have is to focus on potential cultural strengths. Carlos attended the event which shows interest and courage. A strength-based approach would affirm his cultural knowledge and presence. The goal is to empower him through respectful engagement, not fix him. The idea is to build trust through warmth and choice. I would approach Carlos with warmth, nonverbal openness, and casual conversation. Asking about music preferences or inviting him to watch a dance class would be low pressure, ways to include him gradually. Trust is built through invitation, not expectation. Biopsychological assessment. Assessment will explore Carlos' mental health, coping strategies, physical well-being, and social context. Social anxiety screening. Using a social anxiety scale would assess whether Carlos' avoidance stems from clinically significant anxiety. Assessments to action. Assessment results would guide support strategies such as individual counseling, community integration support, or skill building in social comfort. Connecting theory to practice. The person in environment model and psychosocial lens provided valuable insight into Carlos' observable behavior that helped bridge theoretical understanding with practical application, enhancing my professional perspective. Chapter 1 Connection and Relevance reminds us to view individuals as a whole, being shaped by layered influences. Carlos' behavior isn't random, it's meaningful when viewed through the lens of cultural, physiological, and environmental interaction. Ethic and cultural competence. Social work requires ongoing cultural humility. Carlos' backgrounds matter. Avoiding assumption and asking open-ended questions help build trust and create safe space for growth and participation. MSW professional development. This experience sharpened my observation, assessment, and cultural interpretation skills. It underscored the need for practice, non-judgment, and thoughtful engagement. References. Conclusion. This observation deepened my understanding of human behavior in social setting and prepared me for future social work practice. Thank you so much.